Hello, my little cupcakes. I have a great story. The squirrels who squabbled. That means the squirrels who fought, argued. In a towering forest where summer had been, the leaves turned to gold as a cold wind blew in. And as autumn arrived with the sky raging red, the sleepiest creatures got ready for bed. While up in a tree swung a flighty young squirrel who everyone knew as spontaneous Cyril. So everyone's getting ready for bed, but up in the tree was spontaneous Cyril right here swinging. Now, most foresty folk had seen to their needs through the plentiful months of mushrooms and seeds. They built up their stores so they'd all be well fed through the frosting of winter that glittered ahead. Now, Cyril, he lived in the now and the here. He adventured and partied his way through the year. So his cupboard was empty, his hollow was bare. He hadn't a mouthful of food anywhere. So he didn't gather up the seeds and the mushrooms. So his cupboard was bare. He had nothing to eat. But wait, what was that? Over there, take a look. A single lone pinecone wedged in a nook. He squealed with delight, and for very good reason. For inside were the very last nuts of the season. So the last pinecone was the last nuts of the season. So he saw it in the tree, and he said, I can get that pinecone. Right there, I'm going for it. He was so happy because he didn't have anything to eat. He said, I'm going to go get it. But Cyril wasn't alone. There were more hungry eyes. Yes, Plantahead Bruce had his sights on the prize. Though he gathered fresh treasures of every sort, Bruce was convinced he was one pinecone short. I simply must have it, he wistfully cried, as he dreamt of the fresh, juicy pine nuts inside. So Plantahead Bruce had plenty of food, but he thought, I need one more pinecone to get me through the winter. So they both saw the pinecone, and they decided. So as Cyril set off on his way to the ground, Bruce, he was also last pinecone bound. They sprinted and scurried with no time to gamble. They scratched at the bark in their scampering scramble. But their panic and haste shook the tips of the spruce, and the pinecone, it trembled, and then it came loose. So they both went after this pinecone. Up the tree they went. They both went after it, and the pinecone fell out. See what they do. Both squirrels gave chase at a lightning pace. This was the start of a wild, nutty race. It's mine, shouted Cyril. No, mine, hollered Bruce. You don't stand a chance. Give it up. It's no use. I'm hungry, cried Cyril. This cone is not yours. Stay back, shouted Bruce. This cone is for my stores. Oh, so look at them chasing after this pine cone, arguing like, it's mine. No, it's mine. I need it. I don't have anything to eat. It's for my store. It bonged over bushes and flew through the air. It binged on the nose of a slumbering bear. It bounced over boulders, then came to oh my goodness, so this pine cone is rolling all over. It binged on the tree, and it even hit the bear in the nose. And then it rolled. It came to stop! Then teetered and wobbled and quivered and, oh my goodness, look. The bear's going after them, and this pinecone is right at the edge of the rock. Look at this bear coming after them. Uh-oh, what's going to happen? Plop! Both squirrels followed. Oh, the water was fast. Would they learn that they needed each other at last? But each was intent on how he could win, so they didn't quite notice a bird swooping in. Oh my goodness. So they're both trying to get to the pinecone, and they didn't notice this bird was swooping in. Oh my goodness. Cyril and Bruce, they watched in dismay as their cone disappeared. Up, 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 and away. Come back, shouted Cyril. There are nuts, exclaimed Bruce. But all hope was gone. It was simply no use. And meanwhile, they drifted right over to the edge. Greed, it was driving them. Oh, no. Look. So they didn't even notice that they're in the water and that they're moving, and the bird had gotten their pine cone. Oh, my goodness. Over the edge. Cyril and Bruce had taken a fall. They were paying the price for wanting it all. They squandered their chances to team up and share, Will their nutty young hopes simply end in despair? Oh my goodness. Look at this. So they fall into the waterfall. They weren't paying attention. Would this end in despair? Are they in trouble? I think so. Bruised and bedraggled, they swept past dry land. Sybil grabbed at a branch with a trembling hand. Catching Bruce with the other, he heaved and he huffed and pulled him to safety with panting and puffs. They dragged themselves up with sputtering wriggles. Then Bruce looked at Cyril and, oh my goodness. Look at this. So Cyril grabbed Bruce and pulled him up. Look at them right there. And from that day forward, I wonder what's going to happen. From that day and forward, they made a great pair. They would gather together and found they could share. Yes, Cyril and Bruce, they knew in the end. Look, so they formed a team. And they gathered all the food and they knew that they could share with others. They learned something. The best thing to share is a laugh with your friend. So that's what they learned out of this whole experience. The best thing to share is a laugh with your friend. The end. I hope you liked it.